Hey guys, John the Sports Dad here with the Grumpy Sports Dad Talk Show. And I think a lot of us have been talking about this, hearing about this. I, for one, am slash was slash don't know right now if I'm still. But one thing is for certain is that this kid is a natural born superstar. Super duper star. And I'm talking about Ja Morant. Now, Ja has had several allegations against him. One is currently being investigated by the NBA because the extent of it is currently unknown. So what all started this was Ja Morant was on an Instagram live post, and in the Instagram live post, he was in a club. It was dark, and he was waving around what appeared to be a gun, a firearm, a pistol. And as we all know, that is very frowned upon and kind of is a not very good source or show of character. And let's also not fail to mention that this guy is a role model. Young men look up to you, Ja. And young men are very, very, very easily influenced, especially when you have the spotlight. And especially young men whom do not currently have an active role model in their life, which is a very big population, a big portion of the population. Sorry, my fatherly duties are coming into play. Boys, get along, stop arguing. But there is some other things that are also coming to surface. And one of those being is apparently Ja Morant had gotten a call by his mother stating that something was happening at their local mall there in Memphis. And so he loads up with 9 of his little cronies, whom I'm not exactly sure if they're gang member. I don't know. I cannot speculate on that part. But apparently they go there, they start harassing the employee that his mother was having a problem with. And he gets into, I'm not 100% sure the 100% details, but some sort of altercation occurred. And basically the thesis of the whole thing is that Ja Morant was being a young punk, out looking for problems. And then another one just surfaced, I just heard about this one today actually, that Ja Morant was at a little, I don't know if it was a little sister, niece, I'm not exactly sure on that part of it. But apparently he was at a high school girls volleyball game. A high school girls volleyball game. And some argument ensued, and he was, and some of his friends as well, which you are who your friends are. But some of his friends as well were being rude and thuggish to high school kids, to young people, to kids, to freaking kids. And I know that Ja Morant is young in himself. I believe he's 22 years old, 21 or 22 years old, maybe 23. But what I'm going to say about this whole topic as a man, as a person whom was once misguided and did not, I'm not going to say I was waving gun. That never happened. I will never say that happened. That's not true. I was never walking around with guns. I was never doing any of that stuff. But as a kid who could probably fall under the category as a young punk once in my life, what I had to do is I had to get a positive role model in my life. And one thing that I think is highly necessary, especially in these NBA teams where it is the majority of them are very young, and is that they have a veteran presence in their life that has overcome that. I understand the growing up in a tough neighborhood and kind of having to learn to be tough, but once you get to this level, you gotta let that go. You have to let that go. There is no need for you to be acting like this tough guy, Ja, and acting like this young punk when you have this many kids with their eyes on you. You are a superstar. You dropped 50 in a playoff game. Kids love you. And I do feel like you were letting them down. I feel like for the most part, and for one, you're letting yourself down. And I think you're letting these kids down by not being the positive role model that they need. As much as I would like to say, look up to me, I'm not. I don't have an envious life like you. I don't have these attributes. I can't dunk a basketball while staring down at the rim from a 6'2" frame. You're the same height as me. I cannot do the things you do as much as I would like, and as much as I try to will things like that into existence, I can't. And I can't ask these kids to look up to me. You are that person, and you can be that person, and you can be a person that makes a positive impact on this world. And this whole chip on your shoulder thing, while it's tough, while I know you probably have some demons that you're fighting from your childhood, things were rough, I understand that. That is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to yourself, your city, your team, your teammates, and these kids to be the best possible person you can be every day. And I don't think that you're purposely not meeting that requirement, but I do feel like you are not trying or attempting to better yourself every single day. You know, I've heard a saying say you do not compare yourself to others, right? Because you're going to come out, I heard Jalen Rose coming out and all these people coming out with all this stuff. And do not compare yourself to them. Do not go, okay, Jalen Rose did this at this time, I'm failing because blah, 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 right? Compare yourself to the man you were yesterday. And if today you were a better man than the man you were yesterday, you won. And then rinse, wash, repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat. And the days will turn into weeks, weeks will turn into months, months will turn into years. And if you practice it for however amount of time, even if it's something that's hard, foreign, difficult, being emotional, being open is tough, then don't right now. Just stop the behavior. First step, stop it. Even if you have to walk away, do it. Just don't react. And then, formulate a plan. Use this plan. And once the days have turned into weeks and into months, and all this time has gone by, that none of this has happened, you will look back and you'll go, I actually don't mind that I didn't get into a physical altercation, that I didn't do this. And you'll see smiles of these kids looking up at you, and you'll go to sleep knowing that you did the best thing you could to be a positive role model for them. Because making the world a better place, while it's not always the easiest thing, is the best thing that you can do. Because if you're a good man intermixed with this legacy that you've created, man, you got the whole world in front of you. You're only 20, 21, 22 years old. Come on, Ja. Let's get it together. It's not your fault. You're a good guy. I know deep down inside you're a good man. But this needs to stop today. Do not throw your career away because you had to be the tough guy. Okay? All right, duty's calm. My boys are crying. They're fighting with each other. Doing the things that little boys do. All right, Ja? But I want these kids to be able to look up to you. Okay? Come here, baby. See this little guy? I want him to be able to look up to you. I love you, baby. All right, and so thanks again for listening, guys. Remember to like and subscribe to my page. Give me a follow, all that good stuff. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. All right, guys. Peace.